It is time for the season review and the transfer window. I think it's going to be pretty busy because I counted and I think we have around 12 players that are wanted by clubs. Obviously, they will not all leave, but I do think some of the big names we have on our team are going to leave. Let's get into it, guys. Before we get into today's episode, why don't you go ahead and leave a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave the comment down below. We're in the season review right now for the 2026 season at Flumin Knees. Looking at the new arrivals, there was a bunch of them. A bunch of guys that we brought in. We brought in Felipe, B-. Eduardo, a B-. Martinez, a B+. Yao Daniel, B-. Gallo, a B+. Diego, we got the B on. Paulo, we brought in on loan. He was a C+. Didn't really play a lot. This is the one that I'm interested in. Pedro Lucas. We signed him for 10.75, but he couldn't play for us in the season. I didn't sign him. The head honcho of the club did. Pedro Lucas. Of course, they are really happy about signing him. A+. I don't remember. I think we signed this guy. He's a young player. Torres, B on him. Time for the season results. We was overall a B- that we won the Rio State. They wanted us to finish top half. We beat that. B on that. I mean, hey, we're looking good, guys. Finished second in the league. As you can see there, we ended the last episode not showing that. Moments to remember, we don't really care about the moments. Looking at the revenue, it all went down. We got merchandise sales over here. Renan was top selling jersey, followed by Pacheco, Lucas, who didn't hardly play for us, Luis Fernando, and Pinero. We've bumped up the club reputation to 3.5 stars. How we lined up, this was the squad that we put out most of the time. I don't know. Who is this guy? I don't think this guy played one game for us, did he? Who is this guy? I don't know. That's the squad we're putting out. I don't agree with some of it. I do agree with some of it, but a little bit of mix. It seems like some of those players wasn't there when we got here. We got a lot of record breakers. I'm not reading all that off. You can look at it. You can see, though, it's highlighted by Angelo Renan. Great player that I think we're going to lose. Club awards. Renan won fan player of the season. He also young player of the season. Yao Daniel was the signing of the season. Kind of surprised me on that one. Ademo, goal of the season. Renan was our top goal scorer. Alvareno was our leading assist. Renan with the most player of the matches. He was also highest average rating, and Salou had the most passes completed per 90 minutes. There we go. That's what it says about us. I really wish I want to get a screenshot of that. Like, I may pause the video and come back after I take a screenshot of this. Sorry for the really random cut. I wanted that to see how that would look on thumbnails. I think that's it, though. That is the end of the season review. Let's do a little bit of a looky-loo. See if we see anybody here that got moved in. Wagner, I guess. Pacheco, Salou, Nino, Zunino, Fernando. We got a couple players there. Not going to look through any of this stuff because this was our first year here. I don't really expect a lot. Looking at the club vision and expectations moving forward. They want us to develop players using the youth system. Play high-tempo pressing football. And then work within payroll budget, sign players to sell, minimum 3-year contract. I think that's all good. They want us to reach the quarterfinal there. They want us to qualify. Hey, I'm happy with that. It's not a hard end of the season. Scrolling through this stuff right quick. Renan did win first division top goal scorer. We're going to we're going to handshake him, I guess. Great job, guy. Eduardo won something. What did he win? Best right back of the year. We're going to put the arm around him, congratulate him. We got the recruitment meeting that we'll do off screen. We got the end of season team meeting. I'll do that off screen as well. But this is what we want to look at. We want to look at the squad, where we're at right now, what people's wanted by what clubs. So starting off the top, we got Marcus Aurelio. He is wanted by Grink. So we got to keep an eye on him. Felipe is wanted by a club in China. That is scary. Salou, China as well. Diego, not that guy. Diego. Okay, one more try. Diego He's wanted by Ajax and Kansas City, so some big names looking at him. Well, one in particular. Pinheiro, wanted by Bragantino. Alvarino, this is a big guy that we're going to be worried about. Liverpool and Man City's came after him. A club in China as well. I think we can hold off on them, but Man City and Liverpool, that's going to be tough to fight him against that. Renan here, we know he's going to be somebody. Valencia and Sevilla, he's going to leave. Denny, he is wanted by clubs in Brazil, so that is good. I want to keep Denny in the squad. Fernando, Bragantino, and then another club in China. I know we skipped Pacheco. He's wanted by Bragantino. I would not mind selling Pacheco. He's one of the players that we want to talk about before we go into the next bit. Ademo, wanted by a club in Korea and a club in Brazil. We should be able to fight that off. I want to keep Ademo on the squad. I know he is only a 3-star. Well, I didn't know he was only a 3-star potential. I said I thought he was, or I said I knew he was. I really did. I lied. Okay, sue me. Yeah, we may get rid of him. I want to look at the youth team and see about that. If there's any prospects that we want to bring up into the squad, that's something we got to look at, because I want to use the Rio State. Where last time I was trying to learn the team, this season we're going to learn the youth players. We're going to learn the guys that we think can bring up and help out the squad going forward. Kind of like what we didn't do it with him then, but we brought him up. The left back or left wing option that we was playing, Tulio. I think Tulio can be an option over Pacheco. Just throwing that out there. Pacheco's 2.5 stars. Tulio is 2.5 stars with 5-star potential. So we want to look at that kind of stuff. I'm considering starting from the top. I want to keep a lot of these players. I really do. I don't think we're going to. I want to get a better look at Henrique, so he could be somebody that we use instead of Ademo next year. Carlos Paulo is leaving the club. We know he's on loan. Nino, I wouldn't mind selling Nino. He kind of fell out of the starting rotation for a while, and I'm sure that he is actually he's a big name in the club that I don't want to piss off because he's been here for a while. So he could be somebody that I kind of want to move away from. We mentioned Pacheco, Ademo. I want to find us a backup goalkeeper, whether it's off of our youth team or, you get it, something like that. I want to look at those players, see what we can do in that situation. I want to look at the reserves players as well. I want to take a look at these guys. Who do we think can make a jump up? Right off the top, I see this guy right here that's on loan at Remo. Leandro He is a striking option. Looks to be pretty good. He's got good physical abilities. He will be somebody I use in the Rio State that I want to learn more about. That is the kind of player we've talked about that we want to look at. Clemson, he can come in and maybe take Nino's spot. He's on loan right now. He didn't get into the rotation this year. I've looked at this guy a couple of times, Santana. He's wanted by a bunch of clubs in Brazil. Another striking option that we're going to look at more in the Rio State. Who else? Rildo, center mid option. We want to take a look at him as well. He's got some really good attributes. He looks like he's progressing as well. So he's the guy that I'm excited about that I really want to check out. I want to check out a bunch of these 2-star players in the Rio State that have some potential ability about them. So like this guy right here, Helder. I'm not really going to try messing with him. He's got a 3-star potential. Yeah, our scouts could be wrong on it, but we've got plenty of options at youth prospects with being strikers. So we're not going to look at guys like that. But these guys that have high potential abilities and overall decent current ability, those are the guys we're looking into. I want to take a look at the team where we're at right now. Team depth chart. This is one position I want to mess with. I want to mess with the right back because we've got Eduardo, we got Martinez, and we got Henrique. I don't want Martinez to be a right back. I want Martinez to be one of our center backs. We know that he's a really good center back. That's where he needs to be playing at. I wouldn't mind bringing in another center back as well, a really top-notch one alongside Martinez. But I want to bring in another right back to sit behind Eduardo and above Henrique. Henrique is going to play more next year. I'm going to go ahead and say that he's going to play a lot more than next year. I want to give these youth guys some opportunity because I think that's where it is with this team. The transfer window has been kind of moving slow. We hadn't lost a lot of players yet. But we've kept all the ones we wanted to keep, and we've moved some of the ones we didn't want to keep. And we re-signed Denny to a new deal that bumped up his release clause a lot. So that that is great news. So looking at the players that have left the club to start with, over here we have sold. Oh, we had sold 2 players. Pacheco not left yet. Pacheco, his thing is he's joining in February. He is going to Warsaw, so he is out of the club. Then we have also sold 2 other players. We have sold Nino and Ademo. They have gone. Ademo going to the Galaxy for 1.3. Just didn't see him really progressing in the future for us. Nino has left. He's went to Tijuana just because, hey, he's kind of fell out of the squad a little bit. He's getting older. He was a dynamic. He was in the top influencers of the league or locker room. So we've let them 3 players go. We have brought in 2 other players, though. We're going to start with the backup option, Marcelo. He is a right back option that we brought him, 3-star player, 3-star potential, just mainly to back up behind Eduardo. That way we're not having to bounce Martinez over as much. One reason why I like this guy, though, he's got really good long throws. He's got 14 on the long throws. I wanted to get a player that had good long throws, so he has came into the club. And then we spent a little bit of money. We brought up Yao Guerrero from Minero, who have been relegated, so we activated his release clause. And guys, he looks to be a pretty good little player. At his age, 21, can be a good central mid, a really good attacking mid. I think this guy's a good player. The only thing I don't like about him, he's a fickle guy. I mean, so that is what it is. The squad's coming together. I wouldn't mind actually getting a defensive midfielder to help out a little bit as well. I've thought about signing a center back, but I think we're going to roll with what we got at center back because we know what it is. We got Aurelio. We got Gallo, the guy that I want to get some more game time to next year. We got Martinez. I didn't realize Martinez was Uruguayan. He's in the club. I've brought up Cervello. He was the player that went out on loan last year but didn't play a lot. He's a 2.5-star player, 4.5-star potential player, 17. Clemson's going to be coming back. I feel that, well, I know that the star rating's not as good, but I think that's getting weighed down a little bit by some of these top players like Renan and Alvareno, Diego. I mean, I think that's what it is. If you look at some of these players, like Aurelio, who is somehow dropped down to 2 stars, we've played him a lot. Currently operating at the division of lowest, so he's not a full-time starter. Gallo, see where he's currently operating at our level. I'm happy with that. Jao Daniel, he won signing of the year. Good player for our league. Who else? What was the other guy? Martinez. We know that Martinez is a good player. We know the potential of him. Currently operating at our level. Clemson. I don't think he will be operating at our level. He's a decent player. There you go. Cervello, we know I think he's going to be operating at level A at 17. I think we're good on center back, guys. I really do. I think, and I'm not going to do really anything else until players leave because I don't see a point in bringing in other guys. I'm not going to bring in a left wing option to replace Pacheco because we've already brought a guy up. We brought Tulio up last year to replace him. So I don't see there being a lot of changes to the squad next year until some of these guys leave. And as you can see now, a lot of the guys, they're not wanted anymore. Denny's not wanted anymore. Renan's not wanted anymore. Alvareno is still wanted by Liverpool. They hadn't came in with it. Pinero, he's been wanted by like some weird, like I think Bragantino's been interested in him. Yeah, he's wanted by some Brazilian clubs. We should be able to fight those off. I don't see early on that we're going to make some changes. I did bring a goalkeeper up. We brought in Jose Maria. Not going to be a great starter for us, but 2-star, 4.5-star potential player. I feel like, okay, we can bring him up. He can be a backup option. We can see if he can develop into anything as a backup. I don't want to sign another player. Financially, we've got $8 million in the bank. We've got a good bit of payroll that we can still spend, but I don't see a point in spending it right now. We're looking good. I mean, I think this is a solid side going into next year. This has been a very odd transfer window. Not a lot has happened. I hadn't felt a need to sign anybody really. I think we're getting close to the Rio State stuff coming up pretty soon. And I know that takes up a large portion of our first part of the season. So I don't know when that is. We'll figure it out in a little bit. But if you remember in the last bit before this bit, said I wasn't going to sign a goalkeeper because we brought up that one guy. Well, I lied. I signed a goalkeeper. Said I did. Where is he? Okay, there he is. Apparently hadn't showed up in the transfer yet. His name is Romero. He is a 22-year-old goalkeeper. We signed him being a backup. We signed him for $275,000. And guys, he looks to be an absolute stud right now. I'm really impressed with this kid. Looking at it, he's on level with Piera. Has a lot more potential than Piera does. Actually, let's compare him with Piera. And Piera's just a little bit better at shot stopping, and then Romero's better at everything else. I mean, he is a lot more crazy than Piera. But yeah, I was shocked that this kid came up for that price. He's a Brazilian. I'm really excited about that. Something I've been wanting to do that I'm going to try starting to do at the start of every, or at the end of every season. I think I got that right. We're going to look at the players that we grew up to love, that that really helped us as a manager grow. Starting off, we're looking at Pierre Machel. You may not remember him. He didn't play for us much. He was at Super Sport. He has been in China with the same club now for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I'm actually scouting him because he's really good. And he's only 22. He's got 28 caps for South Africa. Turned into a really good player over there in China. Up next, we got Sa. We know that what Sa is. Really good player. Still at Orlando City. Didn't bang in as many goals as he did when we was there, but I feel like he had a good season for him. My man, I wish we could have carried you further along with us. Joe Warren. 2.5-star player. We're not going to sign him. Still at Orlando City. Played a lot of games last season for him. Put out a pretty good rating for him. Then we got Nunes. I'm scouting Nunes again mainly because he's a Brazilian player. See what he looks like. He finished the season. Didn't play in all of them. Might have picked up an injury. Put out a 6.71. So not as good. Caden Francis, one of my favorite at Super Sport. Still at Super Sport. Still playing good for him. Putting out a 7.04. Really good player there. Then Big John. Big John has had a little bit of a journey. Starting off at Super Sport. Then he went to Fortaleza. Then he went back to South Africa on loan, played there for 25 games, and then the Sundowns just picked him back up from Fortaleza. I scouted him because he was in Brazil, and it didn't look like it was going to work out for us, so we didn't try to sign him. But maybe going back to a league like South Africa has, he can get back on a good form and hopefully steady the ship on his career. We've still got money, guys, though, so I don't know what to do right now. We've not had a ton of stuff. Luis Fernando, he's been the one that's been the hot name. He's getting offers left and right, but it's only from Bragantino. He doesn't want to go. I don't want to send him, so he's still with the club. Alvarino's still wanted, I'm assuming, by Liverpool. Felipe is wanted by, Zagreb wants him, and then a team, I don't even know where that is. Saudi Arabia wants him. So we're going to, Zagreb just wants to loan him. That ain't going to happen. He's not for a loan. He's one of our normal starters. And then Pacheco still hasn't left. It's going to be at the start of the next month. So the club, guys, I think we're looking good starting with the season. I'm about to start scheduling some friendlies because I was looking, we do have some stuff coming up in March. So we need to start scheduling some friendlies, getting that figured out, seeing how the squad actually looks. I'm really hoping for the Rio State to start up pretty soon so we can see what these young kids can do that we want to bring up into the squad. That was the point of this offseason, was to bring in some stuff to fill in some holes where we needed to, and then use our youth prospects to fill in the big holes. Well, I think the transfer window for us is going to be winding down pretty soon. We hadn't sold, well, we did sell one more player, but I wanted to show you, we do have some players wanted. I've brought up some youngsters, and I want to highlight some of them that I've played in the first 2 matches in the Rio State Stars. First of all, I want to bring up this guy, Rildo. Center mid, can play center back as well. I'm training him to be a defensive mid as well. He's really good. He's been putting out some good performances against some really, granted, bad opposition. He's put out an 8.3 in his first 2 matches, starting in both of them. There was another player, Trulio, looked really good at one time. He played in the first matchup, putting in 2 goals there. Excited about him. Gallo has looked good in his first 2 starts at center back for us. I'm excited about see what the future holds for him. I wanted to get Romero in there, but he picked up an injury relatively soon after joining the squad. We hadn't been able to play Martinez. We hadn't been able to play Diego, Eduardo. The new signing Guerrero hadn't been able to play them. They've been on international duty since the start of it. But we did sell one player. We signed one more player. Go ahead and show you that. It's over here. We sold Marcus Aurelio. I didn't sell him. They met his release clause and he accepted it. So he has went to Mexico. Kind of disappointed to see him go. Kind of wanted to build around him a little bit this year. But we brought in a player to go ahead and upgrade over him. Jelton from Resev. We brought him in for 8.25. 3-star player, 3.5-star potential player. Look at those mentals right there. I mean, he's got some really good mentals. He's more of a defensive left back option for us. He's looked good at times as well. I'll show you the results of the first 2 matches. The first one, we won 7-1. This is why I've been kind of against showing some of these Rio State matches, just because they're so poor quality matches. Tulio getting a brace in that one and Renan getting 4 goals. The next one we won 5-0. A bunch of people scored. Gallo scored, Rodello scored, Salou scored, Pinero scored, and Santana. He's a striker that I've brought up from the reserve squad, and he's not happy with me. He's 2-star right now, 4.5-star player potentially. He wanted to go somewhere, and I was like, hey man, what can we do to ensure that you stay here? And he wanted to be an important player. Well, sorry, bud, you're going to be 3rd on the pecking order at least. So he's not happy right now, but hopefully we can get rid of that. He has looked pretty good. He scored in his last match. He got 1 goal there. He's been with us for a while. I want to see him develop. It's just that we hadn't a spot for him on the team. Looking at the clubs that was interested in him. There we go. Yeah, Tottenham's interested in him. So I don't believe we'll be able to keep him from Tottenham, but they came in with a really poor offer. So I was able to turn that down. Still not happy with me, though. I don't think we're going to do anything else unless some players get sold. We are currently under $1 million under transfer, so not expecting a whole lot else from us unless something happens. Like I said, the squad looks pretty good. Romero, I think, might be the starting goalkeeper. I want to get him in some of these Rio State matches. Our right back situation looks really good. The new signing, Marcelo, has looked good. I know he's 2.5-star potential. He's an older player. We've brought in, you can see he's put in an 8.4 in his first 2 matches against those poor teams, putting in 3 assists. Martinez, we hadn't seen. Clemson, we know who he is. Daniel, we know about him. Eduardo, Gallio. Cervello, I've played him in 1 substitute appearance. I want to get him starting in the next match that you guys won't see. Left back options, you know, we got apparently, okay, sorry. Eduardo can play on that side as well. We got Denny, we got Daniel, we got Jelton. We're good at there. Our center mids, like I've been really pleased with them. We've got a lot of players that are really good. You know, we got Salou from last year. We got Alvareno still. We got Diego. We got Pedro Lucas, Yao Guerrero, the new guy that I found, Rodello. Clemson can play there. Henrique can play there as well. We know the left wing options. We know that. We got Denny. We got Fernando. We got Sergio. We got Tulio. Right hand side, we look good as well. Center mid looks really good. Central attacking mid looks really good. Let me rephrase that. Striker, I think we're fine because we got Renan and we got Pinero and we've got Santana as well as Leandro. I found him on the team as well in the reserve squad. Played in 1 match, put a 6.7 out, came in as a sub. I want to let him get a little bit more game time. But yeah, guys, we're looking good. I do want to discuss something with you guys, and I actually need feedback on this because I'm not going to progress any further without knowing what you guys think we need to do. So obviously the Rio State, they're not friendlies, but you're playing some really poor competition. But as you can see, though, the next matchup I do have Vasco da Gama, which is in the top flight. Then we have Flamengo coming up in the top flight. There's a couple more: Sao Paulo, Santos, Fortaleza. Well, yeah, Fortaleza is in the league. But what do you guys think about me coming back at the Flamengo match for the Flamingo, and then the second match. The first match might be fun to watch. The second match, not so much. I just need a little bit of feedback on the Rio State stuff. We're expected to reach the Champions Playoff Final. It's like 3 legs, I think. Basically, you have 3 different groups. I'm not 100% sure. I've only played it one time, as you guys know. So, yeah, just let me know about that. That is all the time we have left for today's episode. Remember, though, guys, leave it down in the comments if I should play some of the Rio State matches. If you don't think so, that's fine. We'll go all the way to the big matches and we'll be good. If you want to see some of the young players in action, though, check out the Rio State. Let me know if we should do that. But if you enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment down below. And thank you guys for watching.